Here's a video and it's all about some stuff. We'll talk about fruit and we'll talk about spirituality. We'll talk about intention and the power of the mind. I hope you will enjoy. It's video time. Yo, making a video about a few things. First I want to talk about fruit. Then I'm going to talk about spirituality and a tendency that I see happening where people give up on spirituality because they're totally turned off by the dogmatic approach of religion. And what I see is people throwing the baby out with the bathwater as far as spirituality goes. And then I want to talk about intention and how intention is actually much stronger than expectation and really thought itself, and intention is actually stronger than the physical world itself. So that's kind of interesting. But first I just wanted to talk about all this fruit because it's just so beautiful, and I love fruit so much, and I want to tell you about where I'm at with my diet today, because it's always changing, you know. I'm not ashamed of that. It's just you get up and you try again. You know, when you fall, then you get up and try again, and it's like, it's all good. And you know, luckily I've been doing really well lately, and so I feel inclined to tell you about some fruit that I'm eating. So anyways, you'll notice I have a lot of bananas. I have some oranges over here, some local apples, which is cool, some very not local watermelons, and very not local mangoes. At least the dates came from inside the country, and probably the oranges too. Bananas not so much. Anyways, where I'm at is, like, you know, I have limited money for my fruit, and so I can't really afford anything organic. I mean, I look at the prices, and sometimes I can get organic, but oftentimes I can't, and so I don't. And so it's like you can't hate, you know, because you don't know, you know, what money is available to me. And so what would you rather me do, you know, buy conventionally grown fruit, or just say, the heck with it all. I can't afford fruit because I can't afford organic fruit. No, I can afford fruit. I just can't afford to get it all perfectly local and seasonal and organic. So whatever, you know, it's all good. And another thing, you know, I would prefer, if I had more money, I would focus on melons. I would focus on mangoes and oranges. There's some more melon. I would focus on berries more. But as it stands, you know, that stuff is way more expensive per calorie. Hence the bananas and the dates. And, you know, it still makes me really happy. Maybe you can tell in my voice to have this food. You know, in a perfect world, I would feast on strawberries and watermelons and whatnot, you know, and mangoes and just very juicy things, and have, you know, perfectly ripe pineapples at the grocery store. But that, you know, that's all a fantasy. So, you know, the bananas, the conventionally grown bananas and packaged dates, you know, what are you going to do? This is pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned. This makes me pretty psyched about life. So that'll do it about fruit for me for now. I was about to eat this melon, but then I was just like, I have to make a video. So anyways, let me get on with this video making. I wanted to talk about intention today before I address spirituality, because it's planned in my mind that it'll be kind of a nice segue from one to the other. So basically, intention is extremely powerful, and it's, in fact, what I find is it's much more powerful than your expectations or your beliefs about the world. And the reason for this is that expectation and beliefs are based on social programming. They're based on, you know, the possibilities that you have thus far experienced. Whereas intention is entirely limitless, and it's a much more powerful force in the universe than anything else. You can actually change the physical world with your intentions alone. And oftentimes, well, what's happened in my life is I've made intentions that years ago I made some intentions that back then I didn't really expect them all to come true. I just said, well, yeah, I mean, this is sort of what I would like to experience. I intend for this to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, and I'm doubtful that it will happen, but still, this is what I intend to occur. I wanna tell you very specifically about those intentions so you can see where I'm coming from and why I'm so excited about intention. So, about 2.5 years ago, I don't remember the exact time, but around then, I had just come out of a sort of like a crisis, and as it turns out, crises are really blessings. They're really some of the best blessings you'll ever receive, because once you process, the way that you process a crisis in your life is by raising yourself up to a higher level. So I was going through all kinds of crap. It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own crap. So I came out of it. Well, I needed to get out of it. I knew that. The way that I did this was through digesting texts regarding intention and the laws of attraction. I can mention The Secret. A lot of people that haven't read The Secret will totally say, what are you talking about, man? It's like, The Secret, that's for Oprah, that's for like crazy like metaphysics dreamers or whatever. But just let me tell you my story. The Secret is actually a really great book to start. It's maybe not, the audience is not necessarily like people that are at like the highest level of consciousness, but it's very helpful for maybe pushing someone towards that. So I started looking at texts such as that and just really getting into positivity and developing goals, developing intention. And here are the goals that I wrote down some years ago. I wrote them down. I think that was really important because I wrote them down on a list and I pinned it up on my wall. And whether or not I wanted to, I looked at that list as I walked through my room. So the goals that I wrote down were, I'll share most of them with you. I wanted a loving relationship. I wanted to live in Santa Barbara. I wanted to record an album. And I wanted a fantastically attractive body. I wrote down I want abundant money. So the years went by, because I wrote these goals down years ago. I went through, I thought that I was over my crisis. No, I don't think so. I went through all kinds of more crap of the same stuff, just getting in my own way, getting into chemicals, screwing up my mind, wasting all my time on all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it is all a blessing because now I'm here today and life is really great. So that kind of implies that everything that has happened up until now has been leading me to this point of just like exalting the spirit of positive consciousness. And that's a good thing. But regardless, from the time I wrote that list up until quite recently, I've been tripping out. I haven't really been focused on I haven't really been focused that much on positivity. I've been trying really hard to eat well, try really hard to exercise, I try really hard to maintain my relationships, and I try to do well by myself, you know? But I haven't, looking back, I don't consider myself as doing that well of a job. But it turns out that that judgment is just totally foolish, because let me tell you about something that's happening in my life now. So I can just put it all out to you just really quick and short. I don't want to get into the details because it's all like pretty, some of it's a little bit personal, but basically most of the wheels are in motion such that within just a number of months, within less than a year, I will be in California, quite possibly in Santa Barbara, with a girl that I am very excited about to be with. My friend, out of the blue, one of my friends who makes music, is basically a songwriting and recording expert, calls me up and says, "Hey, do you wanna make music with me, you know?" And I say, "Well, I'm going to California." He says, "Yeah, I want to go to California." Okay? And I also happen to have the body that I mean, I couldn't ask for more. It's pretty much exactly, you know, what I want it to be like. So it's really quite amazing. I don't know how well I articulated all that, or, you know, how well I communicated the perfect parallels between the goals, the intentions that I set some years ago, and the events occurring in my life now. And, you know, because I have the loving relationship, recording an album, the body that I want, living in Santa Barbara. Can't you see that I couldn't have planned this any better my own self? I had none of this was planned. It was merely intended. And that's all that it takes. Because perhaps you'll notice as well that all the stuff in between that I mentioned, between setting the intentions and now experiencing some of the results which are really just another step in my life process. But you'll notice that I mentioned that the space in between setting the intentions and experiencing the results is kind of murky, kind of unclear. But the intentions shone through. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's really, I hope that this is a powerful message for you to see what you can do. You know, I didn't expect for this to happen so quickly even, and I didn't really even plan for any of it to happen, but it's like all of a sudden there's this girl in my life and she wants to go to Santa Barbara, and then my friend, you know, wants to make an album and he wants to go to Santa Barbara, and like I've been working on my body, so it's pretty much how I want it to be. And it's like all of a sudden everything just comes together. You know, note that I could not have planned this. There's just no way that I could have planned this. That's sort of like, well, planning, I mean, I'm not an expert on like the laws of reality and totality, but planning is an interesting thing. I know that it's very useful. You can make plans and stick to them and achieve a lot of things, but another side of that is if you get stuck in your plans, it's called linear thinking. It's something that a traveler once told me about. Linear thinking, because I was telling him about my life dreams, and I was telling him about, man, you know, I'd love to live on an island, on my own personal island someday, but then that would require all kinds of money, which would require all kinds of time, effort, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, that's linear thinking. You're at point A, the personal island is point X, but who says that it has to go like this? You know, who says I have to make a plan and then it's not gonna work like that. See, and it's really beautiful in that way because you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry as long as you set the intention. That's all you need. As long as you set the intention. And you can't make an intention and then sit on your butt all day, but I guarantee that making the intention will inspire you to, hit the road, do whatever you got to do. Yeah, intentions are incredibly powerful. I am experiencing a lot of success in my life because of my willingness to make big intentions and dream big. Sometimes people that I've known from my past and who I still know, from high school, etc. I say, we talk about life, we talk about moving forward in life, because I'm just finishing college now, and so, sometimes they'll ask me what I want to do with my life, and I tell them, I tell them various things depending on which person it is, but quite often I get the response, wow, you're, that's a big dream, and a lot of them will say, some of them will say, I've gotten some responses like, that's crazy, that's never going to happen. I've gotten more positive responses, like just the very sort of, non-abrasive response of, wow, you dream big. Well, I get all these responses, but after the experience that I've just had regarding the intentions I've made and that are now coming true with absolutely no planning involved, or it seems hardly any effort also. Perhaps on the as far as getting in shape goes, yeah, it took a little bit of effort, but hardly. But all the other stuff, the relationship and the making music and the place I'm gonna live, is sort of all just, I didn't even try. And that's how it is for everyone who is willing to make dreams, is willing to live their intentions and believe in intentions. And the intentions are stronger than expectations. I didn't expect for any of this to happen because there's no plan in place, and I was stuck in linear thinking, not seeing, I don't know how that's going to happen because my life is, not perfect. But I didn't even need a plan. All I needed was an intention. So I've been experiencing a lot of success due simply to the intentions that I made. And by success, I mean that I'm really happy, I'm high energy, and I feel totally free to express myself to everyone. And so I'm just always, looking for new ways to improve, etc. And a lot of the improvement that has happened, and perhaps a big reason that my intentions have materialized, is my search and or dedication, whatever you want to call it, to or for a spirit in my life. And you could call it God, but I find that the word God has so much baggage nowadays that it's, to people, it's either meaningless or asinine, or it's righteous. But the God that I'm talking about is not any of those things, because the God that I'm talking about is, it is within myself, and it is me, and it is everything. It is me, and it is everything. It projects from within me, as well as fills me up from the outside. And it's the God, it's spirit, it's whatever. I find that a lot of people give up on this spirit because, well, this was my experience. I'm guessing other people had this experience too, but you can rise above it, where I had this experience where I saw religion doing really great things for people. And so I was like, oh, I want that. I want God, whatever that is. What I wanted was that happiness that those people seem to be getting. But the problem was, I'm no Christian. I am no Christian. I think Christmas is silly. I think Hanukkah is silly. I think anything. I think any religious tradition is silly. Not because of the facts and figures and history associated with those traditions, but because it is a tradition and because it is a dogma. That is what makes it inaccessible to my my consciousness. I'm not gonna let in like all the structure, particularly around the spirit, which is entirely unstructured because it is structure itself. You can't reduce reductionism. You can't logically prove logic, and that sort of matter and energy cannot create itself, and that sort of strange loop is the spirit. So don't be afraid to let go of all religious teachings and merely find the spirit within yourself. Because when you say, oh, well, Christianity's BS, so then I don't believe in God, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're giving up too soon. Don't give up on the spirit. It will really raise you up. And there's nothing religious about it. Nothing whatsoever. So that's a really good thing. So I hope you guys just enjoyed this video and enjoyed this painting. I've been enjoying this painting since I was a very small boy. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. I have another video planned. I'm gonna make a song. It's already made. I just have to record it. So that'll be coming soon. Talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go eat that cantaloupe now.